Lesson on the time marker ni. This marker indicates when an action happens. Sometimes ni is not necessary and other times it may or may not be used. This translates as ta into kinaraya. Now let's take a look at the common word order we use with the time marker ni. In sentences with objects, subject wa, time ni, object o, verb in the mass form. And in sentences with directional verbs, subject wa, time ni, direction ni, or direction e, and the verb in the mass form. You may notice that ni in both of these word orders is enclosed in parentheses. Why is that? It's because there are instances where ni is not used with time expressions, and there are also instances where ni is necessary with certain types of time expressions. And in other times, ni may or may not be necessary. So we will talk about these different types of time expressions very shortly as we go along with our lesson. Here is the list of the most common time expressions used with ni. Ni is used with the days of the week. Ni is used with months. Ni is used with year. Ni is used with seasons. And ni is used with numerical time expressions. Now let's take a look at the example here containing time expressions that require the time marker ni, and also sentences that contain objects. So our example here is, nagabasa kang libro sa library sa alas 2:30 si Mary. Basa would be yomu, which is a group 1 verb. Libro is hong, library is toshokan. So the translation of the sentence, nagabasa kang libro sa library sa alas 2:30 si Mary, into Japanese would be, Miyari-san wa 2時半に図書館で本を読みます. In this sentence, we have the time expression 2時半, and this time expression is a numerical time expression, and it requires the time marker ni. Also, in this sentence, we have an object, which is hong. So we say hong o. So the sentence is, Miyari-san wa 2時半に図書館で本を読みます. Here is another example with a directional verb and a directional marker ni or e. Mapanaw sa Korea ang bata ni Mary sa Agosto. Panaw is iku, and again, it's a group 1 verb. Korea is Kankoku, and Agosto is Hachingatsu. The translation of Mapanaw sa Korea ang bata ni Mary sa Agosto into Japanese is, Miyari-san no kodomo wa 8月に韓国に行きます. Or, Miyari-san no kodomo wa 8月に韓国へ行きます. Now, 8月 is month. It's a time expression that expresses month. And month requires the time marker ni. So we say 8月に. Miyari-san no kodomo wa 8月に韓国に or 韓国へ行きます. Here are the most common time expressions that are not used with ni. Ima, ashita, mainichi, maiasa, maibang, maitsuki, mainen. Now let's take a look at the example here containing time expressions that do not require the time marker ni. Mabakal kang bag sa gaisano sa ruman si Mary. Bakal is kao, which is a group 1 verb. Bag is kabang, and ruman is ashita. So the translation of Mabakal kang bag sa gaisano sa ruman si Mary into Japanese is, Miyari-san wa ashita gaisano de kabang o kaimasu. As you can notice, ni is not used with the time expression ashita. It is just as it is. And so we have to take this to heart and remember. Here's another example. Nagalaba kang bayo sa balay kadya si Mary. Laba is syntax suru, and because of suru here, this becomes a group 3 verb. Bayo is ku. Balay could either be ie or uchi, and kadya is ima. So, if we translate nagalaba kang bayo sa balay kadya si Mary into Japanese, it would be Miyari-san wa ima ie de fuku wo syntaku shimasu. Again, ima is a time expression that does not require ni. Miyari-san wa ima ie de fuku wo syntaku shimasu. Here's another example. Nagabugtaw sa alas 6 sa aga, adlaw-adlaw si Mary. Bugtaw would be okiru, which is a group 2 verb. Alas 6 is rokuji. Aga or sa aga is AM or gozen. Adlaw-adlaw would be mainichi. So, translating nagabugtaw sa alas 6 sa aga, adlaw-adlaw si Mary into Japanese, it would be Miyari-san wa mainichi gozen rokuji ni okimasu. So as you can notice, the time expression mainichi does not require the time marker ni. However, rokuji is a time expression that requires the time marker ni. So we say rokuji ni, but we say mainichi and not mainichi ni. So we say Miyari-san wa mainichi gozen rokuji ni okimasu. So here's the list of the most common time expressions that we may or may not use with the time marker ni. Asa, hiru, gogo, yoru, shumatsu. Let's take a look at the examples. Nagaraha kang dapli sa gabi si Mary. Raha is tsukuru, a group 1 verb. Dapli, okazu. Gabi, yoru. So the translation would be Miyari-san wa yoru ni okazu wo tsukurimasu. However, with the time expression yoru, we can either use ni after yoru or simply just say yoru, as in the example, Miyari-san wa yoru okazu wo tsukurimasu. So the time expression yoru does not really require ni to be used. However, if you want to use ni after yoru, it is still okay. It is still correct, and there is no difference in meaning between yoru ni and simply yoru. So, Miyari-san wa yoru ni okazu wo tsukurimasu and Miyari-san wa yoru okazu wo tsukurimasu are exactly the same sentences. Here's another example. Nagauli sa balay sa hapon si Mary. Uli is kairu, another group 1 verb. Balay is either ie or uchi, and hapon is gogo. So translating nagauli sa balay sa hapon si Mary into Japanese, it would be Miyari-san wa gogo ni uchi ni or uchi e kaerimasu. Or you can also say Miyari-san wa gogo uchi ni or uchi e kaerimasu. You notice that you can say gogo ni or gogo without any difference in meaning. So gogo is a time expression that does not really require ni after it. So you can say gogo ni and gogo without any difference in meaning.